Hey, what's happening, y'all? Well, it looks like Andre SLG Ward has defeated Sullivan Barrera in a 12-round unanimous decision. I mean, clear domination by Ward. What can you much more say about this fight? Pure boxing clinic. Nothing but multiplicity of skills, good defense, whatnot. Picking your shots at a certain time. Uh, that's not more you could say. But other than that, it wasn't a class. It wasn't really a insanely entertaining fight, as you will call it. But it did have some entertaining moments in that fight, particularly in the third round, where Ward was up against the ropes against Barrera, and Barrera was trying to land some power shots, a one-punch power shot on Ward to the body, and then Ward came in with a quick left hook to the temple, and it dropped Barrera down, and he was pretty hurt from that. And I don't care how big you are and how powerful you think you are, if you get hit in the temple, on top of the head, which is the temple area, you're gonna go down because that is a very sensitive spot. And give credit when credit is due, because Barrera did get back up. He managed to go on and fight on. But I would say is this: ever since he got knocked down from that shot, he was very, very intimidated by trying to take the fight to Ward, because it seems like he was trying to adjust and try to fight from the outside. And apparently that didn't work because Ward had the longer reach and he had the quicker hands. And he was picking the shots against Barrera. And whenever Barrera did try to come in and throw some, apply a little pressure on Ward, Ward would just counter him to death with the right hooks, with the straight crosses, short shots, with the left cross, body shots, whatnot. I mean, Barrera was just getting countered to death in this entire fight. And, I think it was in the seventh round. I mean, before the seventh round started, Abel Sanchez, who was ironically training Barrera, he was imploring Barrera to, look, man, you got to start throwing some punches. You got to let your hands go. Why are you, being, timid by throwing some shots? As I mentioned, he was timid because after that knockdown by Ward was counting him to death in the third round. Barrera just was being very cautious. He was confused because Ward he wasn't moving as much like he usually does, but he wanted to show more that he can actually stand in front of you and throw his shots whenever he wanted to, and that's exactly what he did with Barrera tonight. He got his way with him and whatnot. But I think in the 10th round, or I think in the 9th round, where Ward threw a low, perceived body shot, and then hit with a right cross, and then next Barrera went down. However, that was not ruled a knockdown. That was ruled a low blow, and Ward had got deducted a point for that. So yeah. I don't know. I may have missed it, but I don't know if Ward got warned about the low blows. But if he did, I may have missed it. My bad. But other than that, on to the 10th round, there was a cut, a small little cut underneath the eye of Andre Ward, but that was caused by an accidental headbutt, so whatnot. But in the 11th round, obviously this was Barrera's best round, but I still think he lost that round because he had one good moment there when he flurried Ward against the ropes and hit him with a good left hook, and Ward didn't go down for that because that was actually a good power shot. And that goes to show that Andre Ward does have a great chin. Okay, but he came back from that. He got off the ropes, and then he started to use his reach and his distance, and then he tagged Barrera with another right cross, 1-2 cross, and then to the body. I mean, he was just too quick in there. Very masterful in there. And then, obviously, the judges, two judges had scored the fight 117 to 109, I believe, or 110. So those two judges gave Barrera a couple rounds. I mean, to be honest with you, I thought he got shut out throughout the entire fight. He just couldn't find his timing. He couldn't find his rhythm. He just didn't know what to do in there. But hey, can't knock him for not trying. I mean, this is actually his real true fight. But mind you about this, guys, this actually was an IBF title eliminator, and Barrera was actually the mandatory challenger to Kovalev, one of Kovalev's titles. And he put that on the line tonight, and we all know why he did it, because he wanted to, I'm not saying that he wanted a true test, but he obviously did it so he can get a big payday. So, all power to him. He got his check. So now that he's, lost his fight, Andre Ward will now be the mandatory challenger to Kovalev's titles. Now, The thing about Andre Ward is this: what makes him so unique in there is that he can box you from the outside, he can fight you in angles, and he can even stand in front of you if he wants to. And if you try to apply pressures on him and you try to take the fight to him like what Barrera tried to do on a few occasions, he'll fight you back. He's not going to run away. He's going to fight you back, and he's going to counter your death from the inside, and he's going to rough you up too. And Andre Ward is not a very big, light heavyweight, as you can see right now, because he probably came to the fight around 183 or 184, I believe. And Barrera obviously looked around 190, 192. So, yeah, Ward is a very strong dude, even though he, there's guys who outweighs him, but that doesn't necessarily mean that those guys will be stronger than him. So, yes. But, there was talk about him taking another fight before the Kovalev fight, one more, you cannot say tune-up, but one more fight before fighting Sergey Kovalev. And, Max Kovalev did ask him that question. He said, Ward said, look, I'll leave that up to my team. We'll decide from there. We're not trying to focus on Kovalev right now. That's the way I took it. But at the same time, he's not taking his mind off of him, as he was trying to put it. But needless to say, but Kovalev's team, on the other hand, in fact, Kovalev was there ringside tonight. He was there in attendance, and he got booed by the crowd. Well, obviously, the fight was at Oracle Arena in Oakland, so, that is a pro Andre Ward crowd. And, it was pretty star-studded, too, because we had, Amir Khan there, obviously, because, he's trained by Virgil Hunter, I'm sorry. You also had Steph Curry and some of the Golden State Warrior members there. You had Marshawn Lynch there as well. So it was a pretty good night, man. Very good night. Very, pretty good. It was a good fight. I wouldn't say it was an entertaining fight. As I mentioned, it wasn't the best entertaining fight, but it did definitely have some entertaining moments in there. So, great win for Andre Ward. So now he is the mandatory challenger to Kovalev's title, the IBF title, that is. And, of course, we'll have the WBO and the WBA sanction those fights, too, to have a unificate, to have the other three titles be unified. So, yeah, definitely looking forward to that fight, coming up by this year or so. But anyways, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think. Care to comment, share, subscribe. Signing off. Peace. Oh, before I go, now that the Ward and Kovalev fight has more interest, who do you think will be the winner? Do you think Andre Ward stands a chance now against Kovalev? Do you think he will fare off as a victor, given the fact that he looked very impressive tonight? Or do you think Sergey Kovalev will still be the greater favorite? And honestly, if you ask me, Kovalev will still probably have the upper hand, because Kovalev, on the other hand, he actually, is a much better fighter than Sullivan Barrera. He can actually use his reach, and he has an incredible longer reach, and he's much more powerful than the Barrera. However, what Sergey Kovalev is going to have to do, and I'm sure John David Jackson will get him prepped up for this, Kovalev tends to keep himself open when he's throwing his power shots, even from distance, especially at close range. And seeing what Barrera tried to do when he was throwing his power shots from the inside, Ward was countering him to death, and Ward is incredibly quick, and he does have much faster hands than Sergey Kovalev. So that's the one thing Kovalev is going to have to really adjust, is learn to defend himself and not leave himself wide open when he's throwing his power shots. Again, he's not going to knock out Andre Ward with one punch or so. He's going to really have to wear him down if Kovalev is really going to try to beat him. So, and I'm sure Kovalev is very aware of what he saw tonight, and he realized that Andre Ward will be his biggest test ever, and it will not be an easy fight for him. Very difficult fight, probably the most difficult fight that he's ever have to deal with. So, aside from the Darnell Boone fight, the first Darnell Boone fight, I should say, a few years ago. So, other than that, let me know what you think. Now I'm signing off. Peace.